Hi boys and girls, Mrs. Parsons back again this week. This week I have the last few steps of our family portrait project for you. Not too much left to do, and then this will all be done and we'll be ready for something new next week. So grab a pencil, a Sharpie, an eraser, and some crayons or colored pencils, whatever you would like to color your family portrait with, and I'll show you what we're going to be working on today. I'll see you in a little bit. So you can see on here, on my finished project, the last thing we need to do is work on the background. Now I'm going to show you just the background that I did here, but you can make any kind of background that you'd like. If you'd like to draw your family in front of your house, if you want to draw them at the park, whatever kind of background you want to make is perfectly fine. I'm just going to show you how to do this one, maybe give you some ideas on this, and you'll take it from there. So on your paper, we have that horizon line already that we drew at the very first step of our project. I drew some bushes and a tree. So to make the bushes, all I did was go slightly below the horizon line so it looks like they're sitting on the actual grass, and drew almost like clouds, just curved lines, smiley lines that meet up and make that shape of a bush. And then I made two bushes, one in front of the other. So I just did the same thing slightly behind it. And now it looks like there's two bushes and one in front of each other. The other thing I added was the tree here. Now you can only see the top of the tree because this makes it look like the tree is somewhere over here off the edge of my paper. So I started by drawing a big branch, just two lines, parallel, they never touch, not quite the same space between them, but two lines that never touch running alongside each other. And from there, I just drew smaller lines that come off that branch, and even some smaller ones that come off of those branches. And if you want, you can add a second smaller branch coming off the edge of the paper and some branches off of that too. Again, like I said, you don't have to do exactly the background I drew. This is what I chose, but you could draw your family anywhere. If there's a special place that your family likes to go ahead and draw that. Totally up to you. Then our handy dandy Sharpie, just trace whatever background you drew with the Sharpie so it matches kind of the feel of the whole project that we have going. I'm just carefully tracing over those pencil lines. Now I traced my tree and my bushes here with the Sharpie, but you can see the one thing I did not trace was that horizon line, because that's kind of an imaginary line, so we don't want to make it a very dark line, so we're not going to trace that with Sharpie. We know it's there in pencil, and when we add the color, we're going to color those spots two different colors, and that'll be just enough to show that line. I'm going to use crayons to color, but you're welcome to use colored pencils, whatever you would like to use to color. And so I'm just going to grab a couple colors out here to show a couple different things. So you want to grab the color that would be the closest to your family's, each person's skin color. Color that. Make sure you don't color the eyes or the hair in, but you definitely want to color the ears. And now I'm going to show you a couple things just to get different effects for the hair, because not everybody has the same hair color. So for my husband here, I'm just going to color his hair brown. But my hair is brown but also has some blonde in it. So what I'm going to do is color a little bit of brown over that hair. And then I'm going to take my yellow for the blonde and just put a little bit of spots of yellow in the brown. Then take the brown again and go back over it to kind of blend all of it together. And now it gives me that little bit of blonde or lighter brown that's in my hair. Now my daughter down here, her hair is very light brown, almost blonde. So I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna color just lightly with the yellow. And then take my brown and color lightly over that. Almost just like layers and layers of color. And actually a little bit more brown. And a little bit more yellow if I wanted it a little blonder. Also, when you're coloring the skin, make sure you color the people's hands and arms, because that would be the same color as their face. And you can color their clothes whatever color you'd like to color them. That's totally up to you, and probably each person's gonna have slightly different colors for their clothes. The other thing I did, as you can see, I used a couple different greens in the bushes and the tree. This is why crayons and colored pencils are probably the best for this project, because you can get lots of those colors in that I think are really gonna make your project pop a little bit. So for my trees and my bushes and even the grass, I have these three colors here. Again, you don't have to have a background exactly like mine. I'm just showing you this to give you some ideas that you might want to use for your background. So for the bushes, I'm going to take the darker green and just kind of go around the edges of each bush, around those smiley frowny lines that I made to make the outside shape of the bush. And I'm also going to make a couple random ones inside each bush. And then I'm going to do the same with a slightly lighter green. And this yellow green here. And they can overlap. It's fine if they do. It actually makes it even better if they do. Then I'm going to take the green and just lightly color over top of that. And you can see all of those green smiley and frowny faces kind of showing up from underneath that green. And it just makes the bush look a little more realistic, gives it a little more dimension, a little more 3D. And actually I'm also going to take the light green, color a little bit over there too. The tree, I did pretty much the same thing as I did here in the bushes. Very similar. Color the trunk in first, which is going to be probably brown. And when you're coloring, try and stay inside the lines. You can see I got out of the lines a little bit on some of these smaller areas, and that's okay. But try as much as you can to stay inside the lines. Take your time, do your very best work. We always try our best. Then I'm going to take my different greens and I'm just going to lightly color where I think the leaves on the tree would be. Take that other green, color around the same areas. So you can see I'm just building up layers of color. Just like that. On my finished one, you can see the line, that pencil line that I have for the horizon. Above it, I colored blue, being careful not to get too much blue inside the trees or the bushes. And then below that line, I colored it green. I did add these little things of grass, which are super duper easy to make. Just take one of those green crayons, make a line down, and then a line on either side, and that's it. Just looks like one of those crazy pieces of grass that maybe got missed by the mower. And you can do that with all of the greens or just one. Totally up to you. Just helps make the grass look even more like grass. So you would keep coloring each family member, trying to color it the most that you could to make it look like them. Same, and color the grass and the sky. And that's it. You're all set with your family portrait. I hope you had a lot of fun with this family portrait project and have even more fun making your own background and designing each person's clothes for your family. It can be a lot of fun, and you can really try to add things that they like maybe draw their favorite character on their shirt, whatever you want to make it look like them and really have that personality come out for them. Have a great time with this. I would love to see these. If you can send me a picture. If not, that's okay. I get it. And I will see a bunch more of you this week for our live art classes, and we'll have some more fun there. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you next week with some new projects. Bye.